Dear students, welcome back. Video lecture number 2 of module number 4, water chemistry. In our previous lecture video, we come to know introduction part of water, sources of water, importance of water, and applications of water. Moving to the next part of this chapter is types of impurities. As you know that water has the property of dissolving most of the soluble compounds in it. As a result, water it changes its properties. So some natural impurities comes in contact with the water, maybe of different forms, like in the dissolved state or suspended state or colloidal forms, or maybe in the form of microbial or biological impurities, are leading to change the property of the water. So let us begin first with the first type of impurities in water with the title of dissolved impurities. As the title itself, what it is indicated, dissolved impurities. The impurities are in the form of inorganic salts or maybe in the form of dissolved gases. In this slide, one can observe some good salts examples I have mentioned here, like sodium salts, potassium salts, copper salts, and iron salts. As you know that the colorless salts, if they are soluble in water, there is no change with the property of the water, color of the water, but property of the water, I mean to say taste, is going to change. If there are some colored salts are present like copper sulfate and ferrous sulfate, certainly they are going to change the color of the water also, along with the taste. So let us begin now. What are the different types of salts are possible in water? I am highlighting here the inorganic salts like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, iron, the traces of other metals like zinc, copper, as chlorides, sulfates, bicarbonates, etc. So these salts are derived from rock or soil with which the water comes in contact. When the water comes in contact with the minerals like the calcium and magnesium, leading to causes the hardness. If the salts are in the form of bicarbonates, chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium, are leading to cause the alkalinity to the water sample. So it means what? If there are some dissolved salts are present, that imparts hardness, alkalinity, etc. Now moving to the next type of dissolved impurities are in the form of dissolved gases. Most of the water contains dissolved gases like oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. As I explained the examples of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, they are colorless and odorless. And there is no color to the water or smell to the water. But there are some dissolved gases, maybe in the form of oxides of nitrogen, oxides of sulfur, etc., leading the water to be in the acidic character. If there is the gases like ammonia and hydrogen sulfide, which are giving very bad odor to the water sample. Hence, because of the presence of some dissolved gases that may impart a bad odor to the water sample. Hence, acceptability of water decreases if there is gases which are causing a smell to the water sample. Moving to the next part of this chapter is next part of this types of impurities what suspended impurities. Let us discuss about suspended impurities means what first. So these are the impurities which are unsettlable, which are in the very fine, in small or fine in nature. So these suspended impurities are highly insoluble in water. So because of that, the water may lead to have some properties like turbidity, color and odor also. Mainly some examples I have highlighted here. Some salts like aluminum hydroxide, ferric hydroxides. These are forming these are what inorganic or you can say insoluble minerals which are leading to cause the precipitate. And that, for example, you can see that ferric hydroxide or aluminum hydroxides are going to make the water in the form of turbid nature. Suppose if the water contains the impurities like sand and clay, that water you can observe that water it looks dirty and turbid. If such a water, if you compare with the pure water, certainly one can observe that because of the presence of suspended impurities, acceptability of water is what? That is reduces. So this is what about the second type of impurities. Now suspended impurities are what? Are two types. They may be in the organic nature or maybe in the form of inorganic nature. Let us discuss about the suspended impurities of inorganic nature form like vegetable oil. Vegetables you can take, any animal matter which is used for the preparation of food or etc. The presence of these organic impurities, definitely it will produce the color, odor and also alters the taste of water. As I mentioned in the slide, you can observe that wastewater which contains wood beads, the leaves of the plants which are in the form of organic nature. Hence, the water looks not good and which is what turbid and not acceptable. So this is what about the organic form of the impurities. Now let us discuss about some suspended impurities in the form of inorganic nature. You can see this water. So it contains lot of clay and sand. Because of these impurities, the water gets turbidity, color and odor. So hence, because of the suspended impurities, it will alter the property of the water by its color, odor and also its taste. Now moving to the third type of impurities, that is called colloidal impurities. So the colloidal impurities are those impurities which are what? Suspended state, where the particle size is lying between 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer of the impurities. Let us discuss with some specific example. Finely divided silica, clay, organic waste products, amino acids, oils, vegetable oils, etc. So because of these impurities, water is having the turbidity. You can observe this water is what turbid as compared to this water. So means the presence of collateral impurities, what happens? It will absorb the water not clear, hence the acceptability of water is what? That is reduces. Now moving to the fourth type of impurities, that's what I can say, the microbial and biological impurities. As well known, some organisms or pathogenic or microorganisms like fungi, protozoa, bacteria, viruses, etc., if they are present, which are causing the diseases like typhoid, dysentery, hepatitis, etc. Hence, such water containing microbial impurities, as I have explained, so this water is not fit for the use, otherwise it leads to causes the various form of the diseases. So this is what about the types of impurities. Next, let us begin now. The one more concept of the same chapter is what? That is boiler feed water. Before to proceed for the boiler feed water, you must know what is the meaning of boiler first. As you know that we are using the boiler in most of the industries. Take a very good example. In sugar plants, we are using the boilers to produce the steam. As you know that you observe the boilers by visiting sugar plant, you have seen that the boiler is a closed vessel which operates at a different pressure and temperature. Water heated in the boiler under pressure and it is transferred into heat or steam. That is called the boiler. I would like to define the same simplified form of the definition of boiler means what? A boiler is the device for generating steam. I repeat once again, a boiler is the device for generating the steam. So this boiler consists of two important parts. The first one is the furnace or the oven, where we are going to provide the heat by burning the fuel into the oven or furnace. Second part is boiler proper, is the part of the boiler where there is an exchange of heat between the furnace with the water leading to form the steam. Hence, the steam or the hot fluid is recirculated out of the boiler for the use of various processes in heating applications, including water heating, central heating, boiler-based power generation plants, for cooking as well as for the sanitization process. So now you can observe the diagram of boiler. You can see that there is an inlet for the water sample where you are going to feed the cold water, and there is a formation of steam that is supplied for the everywhere. So this diagram you can observe very clearly. There are the two parts. So one is, as I explained, the furnace. Second is the boiler proper. This part what I can show is called the furnace, where the fuel is burnt, and this is the part where you can supply the cold water passes through the system of circulator. This is called the boiler proper, where heat is exchanged leading to convert the steam. So this is what about the boiler and how it produces the steam. That is what I explained in the form of brief part. Moving to the next concept of the boiler is what boiler feed water. Let us begin first. What is the meaning of boiler feed water? As you know that water is used directly or indirectly in many industrial processes. Generally, the boilers are used in industries and power stations to generate the steam, where the water is converted into steam in boiler, and the suspended and dissolved matter may get deposited within the boilers. And boilers are operated under different temperatures and pressure. Hence what happens, the boiler gets the problem if you don't feed the good quality of water. Therefore, before to feed the water to the boiler, we must assess the quality of water. Hence, begin with what is the meaning of boiler feed water. As you know that boiler is the one of the unit used to produce the steam in industry, and the water what it is used in the boiler for the production of steam, that water is called boiler feed water. I repeat once again, the water fed into the boiler for the production of steam is called as boiler feed water. If the water has to be used in the boiler, there are some certain conditions in its quality. If these conditions are not fulfilled, then operation of boiler becomes intolerable. Hence, boiler may lose its efficiency. Now let us discuss essential requirements of boiler feed water are what? The water, it should be free from the following parameters. Let us discuss first one. The boiler should have the zero hardness. It means the hardness of calcium and magnesium, it should be 0 ppm. If it is not possible, it should be less than 0.2 ppm. Second is, the water must be free from the dissolved impurities or dissolved gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. are leading to cause the boiler corrosion. The boiler feed water must be free from the suspended impurities. Boiler feed water should be free from the dissolved salts and alkalinity. Boiler free water should be free from the turbidity and oil. Boiler feed water must be free from the hardness causing and scale forming constituents like calcium and magnesium salts. So these are the some important parameters are essential in water before feeding into the boiler. With this, the concept about the boiler feed water with its definition I have discussed. In next video lecture, we'll discuss about the concept of boiler troubles. Thank you.